All right, so your screen comes rolled like this. Unroll it. And the screen should have these cords already tied to the top. If not, tie to the top hoops. Where the cut is, this is the bottom of your screen. That'll be the bottom of your TV. Each one of these has a wheel lock. This can be tightened or loosened to the back of your TV, and then there's also these clips, and that'll clip down onto these rings right here. But to get set up, the easiest way to put it on your TV is to clip the far left and the far right like this. Tighten it so that it's fairly tight. To about the size of what your TV will be. Yeah, like that. I designed each screen to have about 3 or 4 inches wrap around both the top and the bottom. This should be flush with the TV bottom, and these should flip over and hold securely on the TV. Now let's go put it on a TV. During shipping, or if you store your screen rolled up, sometimes it'll get wrinkles or get folded. The way to get the wrinkles out when your screen arrives is to put it outside in the sun if it's a warm day. If it's cold out in winter, the other thing to do is run a hot bath. If it's wintertime, just run a hot bath and then put it in there rolled up, and then, you know, get the water in. It doesn't take long to heat that plastic up, and then all the wrinkles will come out pretty quickly. So if you have any gnarly wrinkles ever on this screen from it, maybe you store it and maybe it gets sat on and then you get some gnarly wrinkles in it if it gets flattened at all. But do that and then just dry it out with a towel, and it should be good to go. All right, let's install it on the TV. This is a WAKN Pro model. The only difference is it's got side flaps, and on these will be tied here, and just let those dangle to the side. The most important thing is to have the far left and the far right hooked already and fairly tight, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna come like this, and we're gonna drape it over the corners, and then bring that around. Now center the bottom, make sure it's level. These flaps come over, then these, pull those over, and then we'll take the baby clips, these clips right here, and snap them to the hooks or the loops at the bottom over here. Take it, snap it on the bottom before going ahead and tightening it. Tighten those nice and tight. Bolt left and right. And we're just pulling these wheel locks. And now on the Pro models, we have these flaps. What's nice about these is it pulls this way to make it really tight on the TV, and makes it really hard to even tell you have a screen on. And this material is really dark, so when the TV's off, you actually can't even see that this is on the TV. But here we go. We're gonna loosen this a bit. Bottom one. Boop, boop, boop. And this should install fairly easy, whether your TV's mounted or you have stands. Let's say you do have a stand. The most common stands nowadays are going to be right here. And I'll just unhook this real quick just to show. So this is an old model. I'm making them a little bit more tapered in, so that hopefully if the stand gets in the way, you could actually cut off some of this material so that it fits around where the stand leg is. Otherwise, some TVs have the middle stand. If anything comes up, let me know. If for whatever reason it doesn't work out with your stand, maybe if you send me an email, I can come up with the solution on the fly that you can do. The other thing during an installation, I'll just grab this phone right here. So there's buttons on a lot of TVs on the side. If you need access to those buttons, what you're gonna have to do is cut out little holes for the buttons that you need. The TV upstairs, all I have is a power button cut out, but you gotta get creative with that to figure out if you do need those buttons. But most people don't, they just use a controller. And let's see, on any TV model, on the TV models that don't have the flaps, just the regular model, I made it so that there's about a 1/4 inch to hang off the screen, just in case you screwed up your measurements at all when you submitted them. And also, we don't want light to leak out the sides, so I left a little bit of material, and that helps kind of block some of that light. If you are bothered by it, what you can do is take black duct tape and fold it side and tape it if you want to make the screen more permanent, or you can go ahead and cut that off. I would recommend a razor blade on a piece of wood. Measure top and bottom what you want to cut off, and then just cut that with a razor blade. That's it. And then you can email me if you have any issues, any questions, ever need any replacement parts or anything. Thank you. Here's a look at my computer monitor setup. So I have adhesive hooks that I use. I used to supply these for all TVs and computer monitor screens, but it was too often that they failed. They didn't really work that well. You have to pretty much super glue them. You can see here, there's super glue underneath that. So if that's the route you want to go with your TV or your computer monitor, you can get these usually for $5 to $10. You can get like a dozen or maybe 20. I just discontinued them because it was a lot of waste supplying these, only to then people would put them on their TVs and it'd fail. So the cord locks are going to be far more reliable, and they're just as easy to take on and off. With a computer monitor, it is a little bit faster maybe with with these hooks. I'm going to continue to use these even though I never take the amber screen off my computer. But for people who take it on and off a lot, this is the route you would go. I'm only continuing to use this because these are permanent. They're glued on there. So just wanted to show that as an option. Below is a link to adhesive hooks that I used. And let me know. You can email me if you have any questions about this.